I was just ready for a switch and to get myself back into education a bit and yeah, just I felt like I wasn't really going anywhere, but I always had running. And this is the thing with sports, isn't it? It's
Mm.
always there to help with your well-being
Oh
and to
yeah,
help with,
absolutely.
and it was kind of just got me across overseas, opened my mind up a bit. Um, and yeah, it went across there. The funny thing is that I was only there for a year. I got injured, and this is when it came to the decision when I come back. I've give it a go. I had a great experience over there for a year. I had quite a bad injury, and I was it was good for me, but I was ready to,
Yeah.
I guess it didn't really see it out as long as I would have
Mm.
liked to.
This week on the Agegroup Multisport podcast, I'm joined by GB age grouper Alex Wright. We chat about his time as a younger man when he went over to the States as a collegiate student in athletics. We also talk about something we had in common, about stopping over in Japan, especially Yokohama, where he'd raced several times. And Alex, by the end of the chat, had inspired me to add Hyrox into my own training. It's something that he does, and we talk about how Hyrox can build strength, speed and resilience for triathletes, and why it could be a game changer you've been looking for in your winter training. I had a really nice chat with Alex, and hope you enjoy this podcast and Alex's story, and that's coming up. Well, over the last couple of weeks, we've been away and then got back after a city break, and on the Saturday I just was not feeling great, and started off with a sore throat and come down with some man flu. So all last week didn't do any training whatsoever, just rode it out basically. I was supposed to be doing cross duathlon over at Cannock Chase that I'd done previously last year, because I wanted to compare how I'd progressed, if I'd progressed. But Mrs. C came in on the Monday night and said, no, we're not going nowhere. She wasn't prepared to go all the way over to Cannock Chase, me being in the state I was. So that was out the window. So just been trying to recover. I did manage to get to the track on Saturday, and it was so nice to be actually doing something. This week we're on Mondays. I'm editing this podcast, and it's feeling a lot better. Still got a head cold. I've just been for a swim. First swim in 2 weeks since the triathlon, and pool was nice and quiet, so that's good. So hopefully that's put behind me and we can get on. Unfortunately, Mrs. C's now got it, so I hope it doesn't hinder her marathon training too much, because she's doing really, really well. She's up to 30k, so she's on track, and I don't want that to affect her at all, and because I'll get the blame, because obviously I'll give it to her. And there's been so much sport on this weekend. It was quite, well, not just this weekend actually, for the week, because the Athletics World Championships was on, and it was quite fortunate that I wasn't feeling very well, because it was a great excuse to just sit on the settee and watch it. And there's been some great races as usual, and Brits didn't do too well like medal wise, but there was some really good performances, and it's great to watch. Love it. There was also the Nice World Championship Ironman for the men, which had a Norwegian 1-2-3, which was amazing to watch. The Gravel Champs was on, and that was at Dalby Forest, and I raced Dalby Forest on the mountain bike across duathlon, so pretty familiar with it and how tough the landscape is, up and down. So it was really good to see. Found that on YouTube actually, so you might be able to watch it if you're interested. George Taylor Brown, she did really well. I think she came third in the end, but she was leading for such a period of time, and then she just tailed off. So I think she either got second or third, I'm not sure. So that was good to watch. And two of the Ineos pro cyclists came first and second. Cousins now, what were they called? Ben and Connor Swift. And spoiler alert, Connor Swift won out in the end. And in the ladies, it was Elizabeth Henmole. But good racing. They're out for hours. I don't know how they do it. But good to watch. And nice to see that it was free on YouTube. There's been another WTC World Championships over in Czechia. And nice to see Beth Potter come out on top on that one. And there was a young British athlete, I think he's 20-year-old. He's got a great surname. He's called Oliver Conway. And he came fourth. I think that's probably his highest position so far. And then he was taking part in the Super Tri event over in Jersey this weekend. And he finished on the podium. He's part of the Brownlee team. And he came third. So really, really on the up. And it's so nice to see the new generation coming through. And then we had the T100 this weekend also. And Hayden Wild made it his fourth win since he came back off that horrendous crash. And he just smashed it again. He's just unstoppable at the moment. And in the ladies, it was an all-British podium. So out on top was Lucy Charles-Barclay. She was just strong from start to finish. I don't think she had a bad leg, to be honest. Her swim was absolutely amazing as usual. She was pretty much at the front all of the bike, and then Kate Wall went out on the run, but Lucy took over and didn't look back. Kate came second. She did really, really well. She said she wasn't really feeling at her best. The heat was an issue. And then in third place, even after a penalty, and with not a lot of run training, it was Jess Lemon. And she got a penalty. And we said when we were watching it, she's going to be fuming at the interview. If she gets to be interviewed at the end and she's on the podium, she would be fuming. And that was exactly the word that she was using. She said she was fuming. She wasn't very happy when she had to stop for the penalty. And I think that these penalties, T100 were criticised when they first started for not giving any penalties out at all. And then they've started giving penalties out. But all the bikes now have got this race ranger on the back of them. So it's like an electronic device that if you're within distance, it lights up red. So you've got to be, I think it's 20 metres. So if you're in within 20 metres of the next person in front of you, it goes red. Normally it's blue. So the athletes can actually see that. So they're not going to do it on purpose. And there was one of the officials in the men's race was giving Kyle Smith, the Australian, or is he New Zealand? I can't remember now. But was giving him a right hard time. And in the end, he got a penalty. And it just spoiled the race. It spoiled his race. He ended up from being in a good position on the bike to just, it looked as if he wasn't bothered because he ended up 15 and then he ended up DNFing. So it'll be interesting to see what he thought actually after the race. Because they do seem to be spoiling it. There's no way now that they're going to take the chance of getting a penalty with this race ranger. It just shouldn't be a thing. So it just sort of like spoilt the race in the ladies, and luckily in the ladies it didn't matter because Jess had enough time to take the penalty and still come in third. So, but really good couple of races again. There's been some great races, some absolutely fantastic athletes to watch. If you do triathlon and you don't watch any of these races, you're missing out big style. Me and Mrs. C watch them all. We're big fans of all these races, and where we can, we just watch them all because it's great. Just really, really inspiring. So if you haven't watched any of the Super Tri or any of the T100s, give them a look over. Ironman, it's such a long event that it's one of those where you just dip in and out. But if you like your sport, well worth a watch. And then just starting this weekend was the World Cycling Championships, and it runs all week, and it's over in Rwanda, of all places. They've never had it before. Sunday, yesterday, was the men's time trial, and Remco just smashed it again to become world champion. He was that good. He took over Tadej Pogacar. He was his minute man, I think, or maybe more, and he caught him up. So that's how good he was. So so all this week we've got cycling on, culminating in the weekend, next weekend, Sunday, and it's the men's and ladies road race. So that'll be pretty cool. So that's what we've been watching over the last fortnight. A big well done to all my WBC teammates who are taking part in another local triathlon put on by Curly's at Woodall Spa. It's a pool swim and 24k bike and a 5k run. I've done it previously, but I hadn't put my name down to do it this year. It was I think there's about 650 racing in it. So, but we had I think 17 members racing. We're only a small club. I think there's only 25, 26 in total of us, and there was such a big number racing, which was really good to see. And some great performances. Everybody did ever so well, and some great performances. We had a few that were in the top 3 of their age group, and a few that won their age group. So that was really cool to see. So well done. Congratulations to everyone. And finally, we've got a few, as usual, podcast recommendations. And the first one comes from the Drew Porritt Show. And Drew, on a weekly basis, interviews top experts in health, medicine and mindset, and pretty much provides in-depth, step-by-step protocols to take your health to the next level. And in this episode, he asks the question, is sauna use one of the most underrated tools we have for reducing risk of all-cause mortality? And his guest on the show is Dr. Susanna Soberg, and she's one of the world's leading researchers and experts in cold and heat therapy, as well as functional breathing. So they go on to discuss about the health benefits of regular sauna use, pairing sauna with exercise for an extra boost, and how to adapt to the heat of a sauna, because not everybody likes sauna. Some people think it's stuffy. I know Mrs. C's like that. She doesn't really care for the sauna very much. She prefers the steam room. So yeah, really good podcast. I would definitely recommend it, and give it a listen. My next recommendation is actually 2 podcasts by Triathlon&Duathlon. And this is split up into 2 because they are looking at transition. And they reckon that transitions can make or break your race. Well, depending, I guess, on the length of your triathlon that you're doing, it's possible. But they're looking at swim to bike in the first episode, and then bike to run. And they talk about how you can get better, what drills you need to do to get better, and the experts that they've got on there. Our coach is Elizabeth James, who I believe is a pro triathlete, and Ben Somerville, who's been a guest on this podcast, and now he's a coach at Tri.Dot. And they had some really good hints and tips and loads of experience between the 2 of them. So really, really worth a listen. So those are the podcast recommendations on this episode. So now it's time for the main event, and hope you enjoy Adrian's journey, and we shall see you on the other side. Well, thank you ever so much once again for coming on and agreeing to share your story on the podcast. Really do appreciate it. And if you'd just like to introduce yourself, that would be great.
Yeah, thanks for having me. My name's Alex Wright. I'm 43 years old now. I work as a fitness tutor and assessor and currently doing some IQA, so internal quality assurance stuff. So I'm very lucky, I think, to kind of combine my passion for fitness as well as a career, really. So really enjoy helping people to become personal trainers and train to be fitness instructors. That's what I kind of do for a living for about 8 years now. Been in education for about 15 years, so seems like a long time, but yeah, it's great helping people to turn their passion into a career. As well as that, well, my athletic background really is going back since the age of probably 10, was mainly from running.
Right.
Yeah, middle distance running eventually, long distance, I guess, originally. So yeah, I've got that background of athletics. Went through from to my local running club, City of Stoke Athletic Club, back in the day when my father took me down when I was young, and then changed to another club and going back to Stoke. Went through all the kind of age groups up to winning Staffordshire County Champs at 1500 when I was yeah, about 20, I think, at senior age group. But like a lot of people, I think around that age, we packed it in. We had enough. I think running for such a young age, around
Yeah.
21, 22, it must have been.
I think that's
I
the
mean, I
thing,
got
isn't
to,
it? With
yeah,
kids in sport,
mm,
they just get to a point when, I mean, my youngest son, he played football since he was 6 till he was 18, and then 18 he just had enough. Luckily for me, he didn't stop playing sport. He come and did triathlon with us, so that was pretty cool. Before he went to university and found women and beer. But you know what I mean. You do.
yeah.
I can totally get where you're coming from, because you do. That's it. You've had enough. You want to try something else, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. It does have so many friends of mine with some great runners and some, much better than me. And they all seem to be at that age when you get into work as well. And yeah, I mean, there's not lots of money in the sport for
Yeah.
athletics too. And you're just ready for something else. So that's when I think multisport came in later in my life when I was about, yeah, it must have been around 29, 30. I kind of had a break from athletic. I was always ticking over training, but I kind of had enough of competitions and stuff. And it was when I was actually living abroad in Japan, funnily enough, and
So
they
how
had
did
the
that intrigued me? That how did that come about? Because I saw that in your email.
yeah, it wasn't planned, It was like I was working general office jobs and stuff, and I had a taste of living abroad in America from the scholarship for athletics. And when I come back into living in Stoke again, me and a friend of mine had a bit of, he got, itchy feet to go and travel a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it must have been around 25, 26. And he was actually my older brother was living abroad teaching English, and my mate is also good friends with my older brother too. So he was like, "Why don't we stop by Japan for 6 months and then go to Australia after?" That's what I wanted to go to visit Australia. Stop by Japan, as they say, not really stop by, but I ended up teaching English out there as well. Absolutely loved it. That's how I got my foot into the door of education, really, and
Right.
ended up one year became two, and two became three, and I met my wife over there in the fourth or fifth year, and I stayed another 3 years then, and it was literally not planned. And then over there, I got into the multisports and the triathlons. They got a big the World Series across there. I was at
Mm.
Yokohama,
Yeah, yeah.
not too
Well,
far
funny
from.
you should say that, because it intrigues me. When I was in my 20s, I worked on the QE2, which was a big cruise liner, and we docked over in Yokohama for 3 months, and it was
Really?
amazing, absolutely amazing place. And I still to this day want to take Mrs. C, my other half, back to Japan and show the culture and everything else, because I just loved it. I just back then it was, it's just such a fantastic place. Before we move further forward, you said there, and you've sort of like glossed over it, but you said you got a scholarship to go to America, part of athletics. So just go back and like let's delve into that a little bit, because I'm
Yeah.
interested.
Well, at City of Stoke Athletic Club, we had a really good group. There's Olympian, and it was named Chris Bowditch, who trained with us, and his coach was our dad, Rich, and Rich Bowditch and we had a really good group there. And there was a lot of people, who were going across abroad America. We had, contacts back then to go across. It's not. I think nowadays you can go online, can't you? You can apply everywhere, but this is around the years, it must have been around year 2000 or something. It wasn't common then. So yeah, it was like I wanted to give it a go, and I ran a time 15 and 1500 meters. It was about 3 minutes 50 seconds. Happened to be in the same age group as Mo Farah. Not like I was anywhere near him. Not like we'd have much chance of winning anyway, was it, with him around? But he's a year younger, I think, than me. But yeah, I was ranked quite high in the UK, and there was somebody who knew someone who lived abroad, I think, like word of mouth, and they found out my time and they sent it to a couple of states in America where they went, which is in Illinois, Missouri, around there.
Mm.
And yeah, it was tough. I needed a change, I think. You know what it's like when you're young and
So
you're
how
losing a
old were
bit of
you?
focus. I think it was just to 20, so it wasn't like I was 18 or anything.
Mm.
I, I kind of yeah, I was just ready for a switch and to get myself back into education a bit and yeah, just I felt like I wasn't really going anywhere, but I always had running. And this is the thing with sport, isn't it? It's
Mm.
always there to help with your well-being
Oh
and to
yeah,
help with.
absolutely.
And it was kind of just got me across overseas, opened my mind up a bit. Um, and yeah, it went across there. The funny thing is that I was only there for a year. I got injured, and this is when it came to the decision when I come back. I've give it a go. I had a great experience over there for a year. I had quite a bad injury, it was good for me, but I was ready to.
Yeah.
I guess it didn't really see it out as long as I would have
Mm.
liked to, but yeah, it just came through your times that you do, and they were happy
Right.
with the coaches who were happy with that, and then they phone you up and sort you out with a kind of a scholarship. Yeah,
Yeah, cool. That's yeah. I mean, that's really interesting, isn't it? To be able to use sport to, and I know it does happen. I've heard of it before, but to actually speak to someone who's actually gone through that process and to use sport to one get you into further education and two get you abroad as well to a different culture. It's so good, isn't it? Sport's just so good for so many different things.
yeah, like you'll know through multisport, you travel so many different places, don't you? And that's the good thing about it, meeting different people. I mean, I didn't travel much abroad before then, so when I was in America, they were getting used to my Stoke accent and things, and things would take a while at first. I had to really kind of slow down the way that I spoke out there. But there was an international group out there from all different backgrounds. There
Mm,
was your Jamaican sprinters. There's a Kenyan who I trained with. I still keep in touch with today.
cool.
Um, and yeah, it was just really good. And that, like you say, the beauty of sport, and you don't really want to let go of it, do you? You kind of dip it. Well, I've dipped out for a few years,
Mm.
and it's like, what can I do now? I can't get that level again. I won't run those times what I used to ever again. But at least multisport come along and
Yeah.
give you kind of lease of life, really.
Yeah. But then, you say you only were there for a year, but then that took you down a path of like down to Japan, didn't it? Where you had a totally, completely different experience, met your wife. You know what I mean? These things, like, they all sort of happen for a reason, don't they? I think that anyway. That's what I believe. I think, I'm not saying it's planned out, but I think these little things happen for a reason.
Yeah, I don't think I would have gone Japan if I didn't go America. I might not have had the
Mm,
confidence to do it, or
mm,
or I think so. I think yeah, you're right. What you're saying, it wasn't a natural plan for me to go to Japan. It was on my older brother, who I was very close to, and is similar age to me, went out to visit, and yeah, it was just it's just how it worked out. And then it works out that there happens to be triathlon nearby
yeah,
where I lived in
yeah, yeah.
Yokohama, and
So tell me
that's where
about
you may
that
as well have
then.
a go.
Yeah, tell me about that. So how did that come about? When did you first come across triathlon then? Was it before you went out or was it just when you were out there?
I always had, love sport, love watching the Olympics, so I was always interested in that and thought, oh, I don't know if I could do that, but I'm not a great swimmer. I'm not a great cyclist. If you look at my results, it comes across. To be honest, it's the running that always helps still. But
Hmm.
it was that year. It was the London Olympic year. It was
Right.
2012.
Yeah, yeah. Got it.
So Brownlee brothers were
Hmm.
there. Also the cycling Wiggins and everyone. I was watching. Back well, you didn't have. I think I was watching it through a lot of like YouTube over in Japan then and stuff. But that's definitely in my head to give it a go. So it was a combination of that, I guess, that Olympic year, just to see, not expecting to do amazing at it, just to have a go. I think out there in Japan, you are so busy. I had a couple of jobs, and maybe I was losing a bit of my own fitness levels, to be honest. And yeah, they do like a beer in Japan as well, and that there's a lot of that culture going on, a lot of
Mm,
stress and hard work and
mm,
discipline that they have out there. And you get drafted into that, and I was working a couple of jobs in junior high schools, and I was doing the language conversation in the evening, and I needed to focus on myself a bit more. And this was literally down the road, this Yokohama event, and Johnny Brownlee was there. I used to go watch him and some of those runners. There's another guy who was in my age group as a runner, he became a triathlete. Adam Bowden,
oh
I
yeah,
think his
yeah,
name
I've
was.
heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he was in my age group as a runner, so he must be. Yeah, so he did really well with the sport,
Mm.
and yeah, I just thought, let's see. And I went down to the local swimming pool. I could swim, but I couldn't master the breathing. I don't think I still can very well. I'm getting better at it, and so I just went to the local pools on my own and got stuck in and got a bike. And my wife helped me to get set up. And I used to cycle, you know what Yokohama's like, down the
Mm,
bay towards the beach. It was a no-brainer really to give
mm,
it a go. Quite lonely, like solo sports is.
mm.
There wasn't a group I was involved in, so I did what I could, and I started doing the sprint triathlons out there originally, and then I went to the Olympic distance, did the Yokohama event a few times. I ended up doing an Ironman in the end, 70.3, further down in Japan with 37-degree heat, really humid. So I actually suffered but finished. So that's when that crossover came, and I got a
Mm.
bit of an addiction for watching it and just doing it really.
Yeah. So there was no clubs or anything that you got involved over in Japan. Um,
No, there wasn't. There would have been some there, I'm sure, but I was just quite happy to saw myself as
yeah.
just someone who was testing it and challenging myself
Yeah.
really. There was some running clubs and things like that, and with different types of people. My Japanese is not brilliant
I
enough
was
to
going to
get
ask you.
by.
I was going to ask you about that. How's your Japanese? Having a
Well,
Japanese wife and being there for 8 years, did you pick it up?
I did well. You could get by, and my mates always ask, do you speak Japanese? And it's hard to just come out of something on the spot, isn't it? And but no, I could get by. I was working in junior high school, and you had to because
Yeah.
in the staff room, no one else was there who could speak English. So the person next to me, I'd have to make conversation. When I say get by, it'd be like small talks, going out, restaurants. I'd be fine with that stuff, and which I was quite happy with. But I did do a bit of studying out there, and I wanted to learn as much as I could. But it's such a hard language
Mm.
to learn. The grammar is completely opposite to ours. You start off with the noun first, and the verb comes at the end, and the vowels sound differently. So you've got to get used to all the phonetics before you do anything. And obviously they've got kanji, they've got hiragana and katakana, different kind of types of alphabets that you have to pick up on. It's one of the hardest languages to learn. But my wife's English is so good because she lived abroad in New Zealand and she lived in France. She's just really good at languages. We're still there now, making sure our children, we've got two daughters now, really want them to speak Japanese. So
Yeah.
in the house, we're trying to keep, obviously, she speaks to them in Japanese, and we encourage it
Yeah. Yeah.
because you never know what,
The thing
want
is,
them
it's such a when you've got one of you, well, in your case, both of you can speak Japanese, then they're growing up. I've got a couple of Spanish friends, and they've just had a little boy, and they do the same. They speak Spanish at home, and he goes to the nursery, and he speaks English, and it's like they don't know any different, do they? It's just another language. They don't even have to learn it because they hear it all the time. And, I wished I'd have got that type of background as well to pick up. And I guess like your wife, once you've been able to pick up one language like that, then especially Japanese, the other languages must be a little bit easier, I would have thought.
I think so. Yeah, she plays it down a bit more because
Yeah, but she's that's Japanese for you, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah,
so humble, aren't they?
yeah. They say yeah. That's they're very, very too
Mm,
humble, and yeah, yeah, she speaks French really well, and she went in New Zealand, and yeah, she just picked it up pretty quick. But yeah, I don't know. Your brain's like a sponge, isn't it, from a
yeah.
young age, and that's like you just said. My children are 6 and 4 now, so the quicker
Mm,
we maintain that with them, then
mm,
the more they observe,
yeah.
absorb even, and hopefully they'll be they'll be speaking it quite well when they're older. But there's no pressure on them at the same time as well. You know, if it's a lot, if they'll try. I'm not gonna force them to do
Yeah,
anything because it's difficult, isn't it? And
yeah,
my youngest has just started primary school now, and but we just want them to enjoy it and
yeah,
keep
yeah.
practicing.
Oh, that's the most important thing, isn't it? You know.
Mm.
So, that's cool. So how did the triathlon progress then after you'd done your 70.3? Where did you take it?
So that was towards I can't. It was that long ago. The
Yeah.
name of the place, it was on the peninsula a bit further down. It'll come back to me in a minute, but it was perhaps I blank it out from a memory because I struggled that much on that race. But it really hot that day. The Ironman was obviously the next step that I wanted to do, and there is a passion for it out there. But it's so hot and humid. It was really difficult. So I didn't get a great time. I started off with the swim, it went quite well. The bike went okay. I don't think I did enough with my nutrition because you're out in the sticks in the middle of nowhere, and my refueling was terrible back then. So I just had my wife there who was waiting for me to come around. Um, but yeah, it was a great experience to do it. The run I just got myself round at the end, and that was the only one I did. I haven't done one since because
Yeah.
I think it was about 95% humidity if I remember. Um, yeah, just gone blank of the place where it is, but there isn't
Yeah.
many out there. So if
Yeah,
I'll
no
let you know
worries. No
afterwards.
worries. That's fine. Yeah. So after that then what was next?
So then it was getting to that stage then of returning to England. Really, it was getting to thinking about what to do from there work wise. We thought it'd be a great place to have a kind of balanced life out there, and we were ready to give it a go. And I wanted to keep these multisports going, so I kept doing it. I did triathlon in Stoke when I came back, and I was doing a lot of aquathons then. So we got to that aquathon stage when I was doing more swimming and running because I didn't have much time for the
Yeah.
cycling,
Yeah.
as I think a lot of people might say that. So ended up going down to places like Tewkesbury
Mm.
series to do. Enjoyed it around there. I thought they had a good setup. I just got to that stage of thinking, well, what's next? To see where I am age group wise, to see um, if I think I found it online, if I could got potential to get into an age group GB qualification, and started learning how to do that. Um, so it ended up kind of qualifying around one of the Tewkesbury events. I think was the time that I give when you had to be
Right.
in a percentage of so much with the winner back then. So that would be around 2017, I think, 2016. And it was a really good setup out there. And I thought for me, the best chance of doing that was through swimming and running. I like it was 400 meters
Mm.
swim plus the 5K run.
Yeah.
The distance was it's quite, over quick. And at the
Mm.
time I was looking for new jobs, getting involved in working in gyms, doing, your personal training, coaching. It was a big transition, basically, what I was going through from coming back from Japan and into England, but I wanted to keep the multiports going.
Mm.
Um, so that's basically I ended up how I qualified for Tewkesbury, really.
Yeah. And you
So,
said you just come across age group online. Was that on their website or how did you find the whole process?
yeah, it must have been as the ITU website or
Right. Yeah, yeah.
um, something along there, or the UK triathlon.
Yeah.
Um, I just thought I aren't going to be elite at this sport. I mean, my level's this level, but I think I was quite high up in age groups,
Mm.
and I was around 35 to 40 age group back then.
Right.
I was still running some half decent
I
times.
was going to ask you
Five,
what was your 5K time at that age then?
16 minutes 9 seconds,
Yeah.
I think. But that was the Wolverhampton Park run, I think. And that's what it was my get out of jail card, to be honest. My
Well,
swimming.
it's like I always say, this the thing about multisport is that you've got to play to your strengths, haven't you? I mean, swimming is so hard to do, and you've done well to do what you're doing because swimming's so technical. For most people who haven't like swam when they were like really, really small, to get that technical ability, it takes a long, long time, and it's so hard. So you got to. That's why mainly I do duathlons because my swimming's not great to be competitive. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, you're right. You've got to play to your strengths, haven't you? And like I said, the beauty of multisport is there's something for everybody.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's what I really like about it. I think everyone from different backgrounds, we've all got strengths somewhere, haven't we? And use them to your advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I admire people doing the duathlon and also the people doing to qualify for the triathlon. I think is really difficult. I think you've got those three disciplines
mm,
to do. Um, but yeah, the aquathon is I enjoyed it the most as well. I
yeah.
think I just enjoyed. It's great when keep going back to family, but they're not there watching for long either, are they? You know,
No,
it's much
that's the other
shorter.
thing. Yeah, it's a short
You know,
event, and again, like you said, rightly said, and I haven't thought about this before. Take the bite out of the equation, and your training's not as like long, is it? You know, you've got two events rather than three, and the bike's the biggest chunk of all of them, isn't it? To be honest, so you're right. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm doing the cycling and those kind of things, but it's you think it'd be one of the easiest disciplines, but it's harder than it looks, and you need a lot of time, don't you, to to do well with the cycling. So
yeah. I think
um,
like your strength, you're running, so you make it look easy. It doesn't need as much time because your naturality, you've been doing it again since you were a kid, like all those swimmers who are really good, you know what I mean? And it's that's your strength, isn't it? And I think to get better, as we've already alluded to, the other two, you've got to put the work in, you've got to
yeah,
really put the work in to get better. Because again,
yeah,
some
definitely.
people are just gifted on the bike, aren't they? You know what I mean? And
Yeah, no, I just envy them. They just fly past it, don't they? Sometimes, and I'm like, what are you doing? I need to get some tips from you. Um, but I like it's great though, isn't it? Because you can come back a bit later on,
yeah,
or you can get a good start, and you've just got to hang in there. And the sport's not boring at all, is it? Multisport, and you've got just a varied amount of disciplines that you can pick up on. The training's more. I found it more enjoyable than just running. Of course, when I was an athlete, you had to do 1 or 2 strength sessions a week. Well, your majority of time you're running pushing 40, 50 mile a week. The top would doing 80 to 100 mile a week, and it takes its toll on you. And I think that's why you just want that switch. And I still find it today, kind of the hybrid training or the kind of cross sport training that we do, just a lot more fun, and
yeah.
it's great for preventing injury as well, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, I don't want to harp on about my injuries, but I had a really bad Achilles injury, which put me out for about 18 months last year. But I could still bike and I could still swim. You know what I mean? So it's like you can still, even not even from a competing point of view, but from a lifestyle point of view, you can still do stuff. You can still stay healthy and keep training. Because it's usually, isn't it? It's usually the running that gets you in the end. You get an injury from doing too much running, really.
Yeah, and even today, I'll get like a tight calf now and then, but that's why I always make sure my gym membership's got that swimming pool in there,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm always involved. I think I always will be involved with swimming and aquathon because it is great that you've got that option, isn't it,
Yeah.
to go and swim.
Yeah.
Because I think with like running as well, back in the day, everyone's wearing spikes and all the time in training, you have to sometimes think that take its toll on you
Mm.
later on in life, on your calves and your Achilles. But because a lot of people I know, we have similar injuries at this age in our 40s. So yeah, I've just got to keep on top of flexibility and mobility, all those things now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, what you've just said there, flexibility, mobility, strength, so important, isn't it? But not.
Mm.
I don't suppose many people do that on a weekly basis. You know what I mean? When they've got a fit swim, bike, and running on top of that as well. Especially people who are working and they're just doing this for fun. It's so hard to
Mm.
fit everything in, isn't it? So yeah, but
Yeah.
it is important. It's something as I've got older, I've put in definitely and do a lot of it. So after you'd qualified, you put your time in. What was the qualification race for? What did you qualify for?
So it was the European Age Group Championships in Bratislava, 2017. I'm not sure if you were there for that
No,
one.
I wasn't.
It
No.
was it was really good. Yeah, it was a fantastic event. One of the best things I've done, to be
Yeah.
honest. And again, it was me and my wife who went together. Um, the race went really well. The event how it was set up was great. I think it was a 1K swim and a 5K run.
Mm.
So as usual, I was towards the back at the swim. but I managed to put in a really good time there. I think it was 17 minutes on the 5K run. So, and you get so much confidence of going through field and passing people, and it was just a few loops. So
Mm.
it was like a track, and it took me back to the days. And I was never good enough to be a GB. Back in the days of
Yeah.
running, it got to good national level, I think, and like lots of us did. So this is this is where I was at. It was age group 35 to 40, and I was, proud to wear that GB
Mm.
kit, and you got your name on, haven't you? Everyone shouting your name as you're running through. It really spurred me on. It was great, and I haven't qualified since. I've stepped away here and there and gone back, but it's always in the back of my mind to give it a go again.
Yeah.
But Bratislava was near Vienna, so it was a great weekend as well. We
Yeah. Yeah.
stopped by Vienna on the way back, and yeah, definitely encourage anyone to give it a go, isn't it? If you can qualify, I think it's getting harder nowadays, isn't it? It seems like, but it's a
Yeah,
great thing.
well, I mean, I'm in the 57, I'm 57 now, so I'm in the 55 to 59 age group. And it doesn't seem to get any like less people, as you as you move on. It's and all the disciplines, they're all quite, you know, competitive, So it doesn't matter what age you're in, they're all
Yeah,
competitive.
that's it. That's it. I think I did the Aquathlon England Championships in Nottingham through
Right.
Outlaw, and some of the 40 to 44 age group, I think I'm in now, where I think one or two in the top five
Yeah.
who won it, and it just goes to show, isn't it? It's just
Mm.
it's good though, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
competitive, but doesn't matter what age group you're in. There are some really good athletes out there who are maybe getting better as well.
Yeah. 100%. So what have you done since then? So that was your one and done. And obviously you've competed, like you just said, in Nottingham at the Nationals. And did you get a bronze there? I read in your email.
No, that was the bronze was in Leeds. That was
Oh,
the same year,
right,
2017. I think I was about eighth in the one that I've done recently in the age
right.
group. So I'm not quite where I am at the minute, but it's fine. I just like enjoy competing at the minute. But
Yeah.
I got the bronze in the England Championships at Leeds. So yeah, that was a good year, I think, and I was yeah perhaps doing lot more better with my running then, which helped. So that was a while back. But now I'm at the stage now of I'm getting back into it more.
Mm.
Just doing as many local meetings as I can
Mm.
alongside the Hyrox
Yeah.
training.
So the Hyrox training, that sort of like took over. Is that what you got into then? After you'd done your multi-sport?
Yeah, I think Hyrox came around just over a year ago.
Right.
And the way I was training, as you know, like is you do your strength, don't you? You do your mobility, your flexibility, but you keep your running going. And I work as a working as like a fitness tutor and assessor. There's a lot of people who are kind of interested in it, and
Mm.
they make training plans for it, and it's really started to boom the High Rocks. So that it just came. I'll give this a go. My trainings is similar anyway. Let's see how this goes. And I love it as well. And I
Mm.
think anyone listening to this, I know it's multi sport, but it is a lot of what you do in the training would transfer across
Mm.
into Hyrox, and I'd encourage anyone to give it a go. Some say it's the ultimate fitness test.
Mm.
There's age group categories as well, but it really is hard. I'd say it was harder than the Ironman that I did, to be honest. And the
Right.
Ironman was hard,
Mm.
and the reason is because you've got various muscle groups working. You're pulling things. You've got to switch from kind of anaerobic into aerobic really
Mm.
quick. So one minute you're pushing a sled of 157 kilograms, the next you're off running a 1 kilometer run. Um, and it's a good challenge. It's something that I'm enjoying. I've done a few of them. I'm not again, I'm not at the top there, probably just above average in my age group, but I just love it. My children come watching it. It's great for the people to watch because it's like an indoor circuit
Yeah, yeah, it's
really,
in
and you've
an
got
arena, isn't it? Yeah.
it's an arena. You've
Yeah.
got kind of music playing. It's a good atmosphere. Lots of support. So I think that's what I'm doing as well. But I'm not letting go of the aquathons and
Mm.
the triathlons. I think they're always going to be there as well.
Mm. Cool. Well, like you say, it's a good crossover, isn't it? Because what you do in High Rock strength will help you with the multi-sport side because you'll just get stronger and stronger, won't you? and it'll definitely benefit it. It's got to, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and there's people from all kinds of age groups, in the 60s, I think 70s as well, doing it, and
Yeah.
it's basically eight kind of functional stations that you're doing with a 1 kilometer run in between, and they can go on for hour and a half, 2 hours. I think the elite do about an hour.
Mm.
But there's a lot of pro athletes I think are getting involved in it now, putting in some really good time because the transition they're really good at. But it's a slightly different challenge because you've got to recover from that kind of anaerobic power all of a sudden, whether you're doing the sled push or the pull or whatever it is. And then right at the end, they give you like 100 wall balls to do
Yeah, I've
at the
seen
end of
that.
it's an absolute killer. And I'm quite tall. I'm 6'3", and you think it'd
Right.
be easier, but my hinge movement is terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
It's something I've got to work on a
And what's the
lot.
weight
And
of that ball then that you're heaving up the wall?
for men, it's 6 kilograms. I think women for
Six.
about I think it's 4 for women.
Right.
But your legs, you've just got so much lactic in your legs at that stage, and they conveniently put the kind of lunges as well, walking lunges, the
Yeah, yeah.
station
With
before
the
that.
sandbag on the back.
Yeah, 25 kilogram sandbag on your back as well. That's 100 meters, and your knees got to touch the floor. There's kind of referees and everywhere who are checking you're doing it right. But yeah, once you've done it, it's a great, I great feeling. And I think the first one I did absolutely killed me. I was just out my wife's watching me everywhere, do everything, and she said she'd never seen me so beat up at the end. I was just
Yeah, yeah.
sitting there, I could hardly walk. But why am I going back? I don't know. I don't know why,
Hey,
but we're both into it now, and
yeah, yeah,
yeah, we'll see. Definitely, and I see it more or less every day where I work. I ask people what they do, and they're into Hyrox, and if they're training to become a personal trainer, they want to do Hyrox as well. It brings them into it, I think, a lot of it. But so I think there's a lot of that transition now of people maybe coming from CrossFit into Hyrox more. Because I think with Hyrox, it is something that everyone can do. There are functional stations that you do, but I think everyone can do them really. Like it's
I don't think
a
I'd be able
lunge.
to push 150 kilos on a sled.
I think, yeah, but maybe comparing it to Hyrox, I think what I guess I'm saying is like Hyrox is, sorry, compared to CrossFit,
Yeah.
CrossFit is more, not every, I think not, it's harder in a way for
I
some
think it's
technical
all weight.
exercises to
It's
do.
all weight dependent, isn't it? You know what I mean. So not
Yes, yeah,
everybody's doing depends on your weight. Whereas I don't think Hyrox is it? You all do. All the men do the same, and all the women do the same. Is that right? It's not weight
yeah,
dependent. I mean, I'm
no,
I'm 55k ringing wet, so I'll be like pushing maybe twice my body weight. You know what I
mm,
mean? Whereas
I
someone
see.
who's like double that weight won't be. You know what I mean? So there's that imbalance, I guess.
Yeah, there is, and those stations are right early on as well. They are the ones that I keep saying with the anaerobic side of things, you just explosive power. Like you
Yeah.
run 1K, and it's so confusing, I guess, for your body.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's this sled waiting for you, 157 kilo. Go push it for 50 meters, and you're like, right, okay, here we go. And I used to be, skinny, long, lanky distance runner. So it's quite daunting at
Yeah.
first. So I've had to practice a lot and build
Yeah.
strength up. And then you do another run, and you've got to pull
Yeah.
100 odd K for 50 meters. And it kind of, yeah, you then you're on the rower, I think, after that. And off the top of my head. So yeah, it gets, maybe not, it depends on your station. Everyone's got your strengths and weaknesses, but it's the way you cope with the station and what you run best off. And if you go too fast in the high rocks at the start, you're going to really struggle at the end. You just burn out.
Yeah. I was listening to Joe Skipper, the pro triathlete, and he'd done a couple of High Rocks events, and he'd done exactly that because obviously his running's going to be good, isn't he? He's an elite triathlete,
Yeah.
and he said he just burnt out. He said he just couldn't. He'd matched them like to a certain point. He said, but he just didn't have the strength. And actually, it was the sled pull that he struggled on as well, from memory.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've got the order wrong. I think it's the ski erg first, sorry, and then it's the sled pull,
Is it always the
sled
same
push.
order?
Yeah, they're all in the same order. It's not it's you do the ski erg first, which I think
Yeah.
is a great cardio machine to do, and that's just for 1 kilometer, um, on the ski, what you do there. But then you're onto the sled push, then the sled pull, and then it's onto burpees. Now burpees are the ones burpee broad jumps you've got to do for 80 meters.
Right.
And that just really tests you again.
Yeah.
Then it's the rower after that, and then I think it's the farmers carries, then the sandbag lunges, and then the wall balls. So
Mm.
yeah, it's something that you've got to learn to pace, and I think that's what gets quite addictive with it. And I can see why it's drawing in so many triathletes, really, because triathlete, you have got that transition, haven't you, coming from your heart rate is so high, but
Mm.
I felt like in the Hyrox, it was so high, almost max heart rate in some
All
stages.
the
Those
time.
wall boats, you're up and down, and it's just trying to get your heart rate going at the right pace as best as you can, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's something that I've just, yeah, I'll probably start looking at putting some of those exercises in because at the gym I go to, we've got the ski erg, we've got it's not a sled as such, it's like a trolley with wheels. We've got balls, we've got rower, um, kettlebells. We've got all the stuff, so I could like actually put something together myself and have a go at training like that because I think it'd be more like we said about being interesting. You were talking about running and putting something else with running to make it more interesting. I think it'd be more interesting than just going and doing pure strength, over the winter. So I think I might. You've inspired me. I might incorporate some of that into my training.
Yeah, give it a go because it's also as well. If you did feel like giving it a go, competition one day, there's doubles as well. You can do doubles, and you can. Some people do that to start off with, and you just take turns during the station. You have to run a similar time together. You can't like run away from each other. But yeah, it's if you're doing that, that's what I thought. If I'm doing that, that's where I want to go now in my 40s, as we lose that muscle
Yeah,
mass. It's like to keep on top of it. If I'm doing that kind of training in the gym anyway, this suits me where I'm at now. And obviously that strength will help with my swimming as well and the core work,
mm,
the flexibility. I don't want to get like really big or anything muscle wise because it wouldn't suit me, and I just want to yeah, to keep developing strength really.
keep strong in
Not
your old age. I
yeah,
think that's the key, isn't it?
yeah, longevity, isn't it? Just
Yeah,
boosting your flexibility,
yeah,
metabolic flexibility, and so on.
yeah,
Your balance,
yeah,
your joint health,
yeah,
all those things. It's you've got to keep on top of, haven't you?
yeah.
Really.
Definitely, definitely. Well, that's great. I mean, so have you got any events coming up?
Yeah, there should be Hyrox coming up towards the later in the year.
Yeah.
Dublin, I
All right.
think
Yeah.
we're looking into, but yeah, bit of a calf strain at the minute. We'll see how we get on.
Yeah.
I want to get back into doing park runs again. I definitely want to do some more aquathon events to improve my swimming.
Mm. Well,
That's all I'm at the minute. Yeah.
awesome, awesome. Well, good luck with it all. Been a really good story. Really enjoyed it. Do you want to tell people a little bit about the business that you do and the training? And is it something that you offer to individuals, or is it more a company thing that you offer it to your training coaches? Have I got that right? That's what you're doing?
Yeah. So that I guess, a couple of companies really. I work for a training provider called Achieve More Training, and
Okay.
they basically, help people train people to become personal trainers
Right.
or to become fitness instructors. So that's who I work for as my main job, and we do additional qualifications like kettlebells and exercise referral, that kind of stuff, circuits, and yeah, they do that kind of commercially, and a lot of it's based in Wales as well.
Mm.
So that's what I do. I'm one of the tutors there and assessors. I've started kind of yeah, I guess it's called hybrid axis because I've been doing it for so long. It's just I want to help people, or maybe even mentor and give advice on how to get in the fitness industry. What they need to do to develop their own careers if they need to, or how to get that foot in the door because you can come from any type of background. Once you get your level 2 fitness instructor in, you can progress onto personal training, and then online coaching is becoming popular now.
Mm.
So that what I do, Hybrid Access, is kind of helping people with either get into the fitness industry to develop their careers further, or maybe even if they want any help with hybrid coaching and those kind of things, there's courses that are available. So um, yeah, it started kind of hoping to link up a bit with Achieve More training as well with
Yeah,
that, and
yeah,
just keep doing that. What I'm doing really, that is my
cool.
main job. What I've been doing for years now.
And anybody wanting to get in touch, what's the best route? Have you got a website for this hybrid access?
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook. Hybrid Access is hybridaccess.co.uk or
Yeah,
www.hybridaccess.co.uk.
yeah,
Instagram is Hybrid Access as well. Facebook, you can find on there too.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Awesome. Right. Well, anybody interested, get yourself over there and see what it's all about and get in touch with Alex and he'll point you in the right direction. New career in the offing. Always good. Right, right. We are about done. We've just got the quick fire questions to go. And as usual, the first one is what's your favourite bit of kit? Now, in your case, it could be multi-sport related, or it could be something else.
Yeah, it's favorite kit is it's probably a boring answer, but it is my running shoes at the minute, which is linked
Right,
to Hyrox, to be
running
honest.
shoes. Now that's a complete episode in itself, isn't it? Really, what's your go-to running shoes and why?
At the minute they're called Puma Nitros, and a lot of
Right.
it's to do with grip. Because
Oh,
we're going
okay.
back to that sled push again. It's so important in Hyrox to make sure you've got some good grip, and they've got some good thick soles on as well, so it'll transfer across to the running that you do. And basically, I've chosen them because when the first time I wore them, I knocked 13 minutes off my personal best for Hyrox. So hopefully they might have had something to do with it. My coach used to say it's what's in the shoes that counts, matters most. But I think they're really good. They suit the Hyrox sport and they help with my running.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Puma Nitro running shoes is what I'd say.
Cool. And do you run on, say you were doing a park run or whatever, do you run in them now? Is that what you choose?
Yeah, I'd use them as well.
Yeah.
I showed him my physio. He says they suit. I've got some insoles in there because I've got quite a high arch.
Yeah.
But no, they're good. They suit me. When I was younger, I used to put kind of flat races on and things like that for park runs. But now, again, I'm just happy with I train in them and I
Yeah.
also race in them.
Yeah.
And I don't race as much as I used to, but if I did start to, I might get some lighter ones for competing.
Yeah. Uh, and what would you go for then, do you think, if you were going to start racing?
Well, everyone's wearing these kind of new Zoom flies, are they that they're called?
Yeah,
And
Zoom Fly
yeah, I
or
don't know.
what's the Adidas Adizeros? Those are the other big ones.
Yeah,
Pro 4s. And I only know that because I've just bought my wife a pair for birthday.
oh, Gabby, really? Yeah, was that something you do as well? Because I'm interested in them, but I'm from a different
Yeah,
generation. It seems like everyone's wearing them now.
yeah. I mean, it's weird, isn't it? Because it's sort of like goes in circles. That it used to be all Nike. You know, they had the Alpha Flies and the like you said the Vapor Flies, and those were the flavor of the day. And then Adidas started up in their game, and they've done the Adizero Pros. But there's so many good different shoes out there now. I mean, there's the Sauconys, there's the Asics. New
Yeah,
Balance have got some good shoes as well. So it's just yeah, I'm interested in that geeky side of it, and yeah, because I've gone from Nike to Adidas because I just um, tried them out and I like them. I like them a lot. My old
yeah.
vape.
Okay. Rich, your sound's gone off. Your sound's gone.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I knocked the top of my mic. I think that's what it was. Yeah, so I
Okay.
was saying I went from Nike to Adidas because my Nikes were old and the Adidas had new technology in it, and it's just trying to keep up really. But
They're all competing with each other, aren't they? I think
yeah,
that's what's happening in all sports. They're all trying to get these thicker soles now. Yeah, but it never stops developing, does it?
no, never does, never does. Um, so what does a training week look like for you at the moment?
Um, I'd say, I tread at least 4 or 5 days a week, at least four, and it'll be a couple of strength days. But I'm trying to do a lot of compromise running. So I start off in the gym doing some, things like your deadlifts and your compound exercises and things like that. And I'll always finish with a run. So my strength is kind of squeezed in there somewhere. And then it'll be 2 or 3 cardio days, really, cardiovascular days. There'll be at least one swim in there. I know that should be more. Mike, I can't keep blaming that my children are too young and haven't got the time. I need to kind of get up a bit earlier in certain days and do that. So yeah, it's a couple of strength days, a couple of cardio days, and one kind of Hyrox specific day, if I can, to get in where you do kind of a simulation of those stations that I've talked about.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then if we can do a brick or something like that, a brick session, like a bike and then a run.
Yeah.
So just a lot of different muscle groups working at the minute.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going. Yeah. And as far as the swimming goes, I mean, it's where your priorities lie. With a young family like you've got, fitting it all in, it's really, I take my hat off to anybody like you who've got young kids and trying to actually do anything at all. It's just amazing what you actually do and what people can do with families, and so you can't beat yourself up about only putting one swim in. You know what I mean? It's like you've just got to. I think whatever you do, you got to enjoy it, haven't you? And just go with it.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason you do it, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
as long as my children can see that I'm training and that's it's coming across to them that it's normal, really. It should
Yeah.
be normal to
Yeah.
train. It shouldn't be a chore.
No.
And I just want that to come across to them. Um, and then if they come and watch me race and they see me getting out the door to run, and I think they seem to love sports as well, even at a young age. So
Yeah.
that's what I always remember. If I've missed a day, it's not the end of the world. I'm not Mo Farah or anyone.
Exactly. We do
I'm
this.
just
We do it for fun, don't we?
do it for fun, yeah, and just get the best out of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think you're right. I mean, your kids, they see you do this, and you don't think they're really paying much attention, even though they go to your events and stuff like that. And they might not even want to do it at the moment. But I found as the kids got older, they've obviously seen what we do, and they've both gone into my other one. My youngest one still plays football, and my eldest one, he does the what do we call it? I
Oh,
forgot.
the CrossFit.
My older one, he does the CrossFit, and
That's
they've
brilliant.
seen us do, all this training, and it rubs off, and they pick it up, and that helps them in later life, doesn't it? Because it'll be like you've just said, it'll be the norm for them, and that's what you want for them, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. No, and that's great that anyone is doing it because not everyone does. Like in the UK, especially the obesity rates
Yeah, I
are so
know.
high, aren't they? And
Yeah,
children leaving school at primary school, leaving, I think when they leave year six, a statistic I saw is around at least 25% are classed as overweight or obese.
mm.
And to have exercise can just help, can't it? And with regard with your well-being,
Yeah,
or
yeah, absolutely.
the earlier you do it, the easier it is to
Yeah,
pick up later on in life.
100%. And I think because we surround ourselves with like-minded people, we just presume wrongly that everybody does it, and actually we're the minority that
Mm.
does this.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
you just said, the majority of society doesn't do it. They don't do exercise, but
Yeah.
because we're in this bubble, we think everybody does it. It's normal, but it isn't. We just
Yeah, and you've got to have respect for those people as well who haven't been doing sports as a child, and then if they have gained weight or whatever it is later in life, and they pick it up, it's much harder because it's a behavioural change thing, isn't it? You've got it.
yeah,
It's so hard to change behaviour when you've
yeah,
been used to certain habits over the years. And you see some people, don't you, who've lost all this weight and end up becoming personal trainers and then inspire others that way as well.
yeah,
Because it's just trying to develop good habits as early as possible, isn't it? I think.
100%. Yeah, I've had a few guys on the podcast, and they're exactly the same. They got to the certain stage where they just didn't look after themselves. They put all this weight on, um, and then the penny dropped, and they went back to it, and
Mm.
become age groupers, and it's just, anyone can do it. It's just mindset, isn't it? If you got to want it. It's like anything in life, you got to want to do it, haven't you? And I think
Yeah,
I always say that's the most important thing. Doesn't matter what you do exercise wise, just find something that you really enjoy doing, and then it's not exercise, it's not a chore, is it? It's something that you enjoy doing.
yeah, definitely, 100%.
Cool. So we've done training. What's the best bit of advice that you've been given?
Um, master master the recovery, not only the training.
Yeah.
I think along those lines, because I think again it refers to as you get older. We all know that we should work harder. Thinking, well, maybe not everyone. Consistency, how important that is. I think they're always good tips to have to be consistent and work hard. But when you learn how to recover and when to deload your sessions or when to ease down is a skill.
Mm.
And once you get to that level of knowing, listening to your body and when to take a step back or when to do a zone 2 run or a slow, cardio workout is so sensible because you still can build up that aerobic capacity, but you don't push it too much. I've made mistakes of training especially when I was younger, doing 2 or 3 high intensity sessions a week.
Mm.
And then you get away with it when you're younger, don't you? And you've got your spikes on all the time without not much recovery. And you do. I didn't learn from a young age, but it'd be more coaches when I was older, advice that was passed to me from other athletes, how they recover is something I've learned from, and it's something probably I can still do even better, really, because when you don't have much time to train, you're trying to rush back, and it's so hard, isn't it, to just make sure you have that kind of day off or two and to take a step back, ease your week down 20 to 30% and deload a bit, and then come back and have 4 weeks of progression afterwards. But
Yeah.
you don't have to cram everything in and go. I do believe I was saying you've got to work hard, of course,
Mm.
but you've got to be kind of smart as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that old adage 80-20, isn't it, I think?
Yes, yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, here's one for you. This came from the episode that's coming out on Wednesday. I asked her what her favourite bit of kit was, and she said about headphones. Right, I've never had headphones before.
Okay.
So then I asked her, well, if your favourite bit of kit's headphones, what's your favourite tune? So my next question to you, what's your favourite training tune and why?
Oh, that's a difficult one, because I never listen to music when
Right.
I'm running. People get surprised by that. When I'm running or when I'm cycling, I I mean, I can think of a tune. It's got to be Oasis or something like that. I love the song "I'm Free to Do Whatever I."
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
What
Yeah.
that's something I very rarely have in. It'll be an Oasis track. That'll be something I'd skip to. So it'd be whatever. You are free when you're running, aren't you? And
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're out
Cool. I
there.
like that.
Well,
Yeah.
that would be it. But I don't listen to him too much.
Is
Tunes when
there
I'm doing it.
music going in when you're doing your Hyrox?
Yeah. So there's kind of upbeat music going on in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah, I
So
thought there was, yeah. Yeah.
to be honest, yeah, I mean, I was in that much pain. I didn't pay too much attention to
Do
it.
you
It's
not
just a
do you
beat.
not do you not do your Hyrox training with music then?
No, no, just what I was on in the gym. So if I do a lot of it in the gym,
Right.
so
Yeah.
there's always some music on, isn't there? So whatever's in the
Yeah,
background
yeah.
and
Got you.
is
Got you.
enough for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Cool. And then finally, what's your short and your long term goals?
Short-term goals probably links to that recovery a little bit, kind of mastering, improving flexibility. I think at the minute, so I still have to do those flexibility stretches, but do them more. So short-term, just get on top of that a bit more flexibility, mobility. Um, Long-term, simple, really. Just keep inspiring my children, my family, keep competing. At the back of my mind, I'd love to try and qualify again for an age group multisport events, more than likely Aquathlon in
Yeah.
the future. So that's probably a long-term one. I'm not there yet. I think I've been in and out of the sport too much. I've got to get consistent with it. But whether it be in the 40 to 44 age group category or the next one up, I don't know.
Cool.
So yeah, just keep inspiring my children, really, hopefully, and my
Awesome.
family.
Excellent. Lovely. What a lovely way end the podcast. So thank you ever so much for coming on and sharing your story. It's been a pleasure to speak with you today. Really enjoyed it.
No, thank you. No, I really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Awesome. That's it, Alex. Thank you ever so much. I hope you enjoyed our chat. I really did. So it was really cool. This will be going out. I've got one coming out on Wednesday, so it'll be a fortnight after that. If you could send me some photographs you want me to use for promo on Instagram and Facebook, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Just email me some over. That'd be all right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you.
And if you
Yeah,
can share the podcast to like-minded people, that's also a bonus. Appreciate
I
it.
definitely will. Yeah, definitely.
And just going back to your aquathon, my wife has recently took up the mantle of manager of one of the teams. So she's the European manager now.
Okay.
Although she'll be doing the Worlds next year in Abu Dhabi because that manager didn't want to go to Abu Dhabi. So she'll be your manager if you want to try and qualify for the Europeans in the future.
Oh, brilliant! I'll try not to let her down if I do. Yeah,
So
because I need to.
if you need any help or info with anything, just give us a shout.
Probably will, probably swimming and things, and what best ways to do it. Yeah, I think it'll be within maybe the next couple of years. I want to just keep racing, and then maybe just kind of give it a go. And when my kids are a bit older as well, I keep going back to it, but they'll remember it a bit more. They've never
Yeah,
seen me
that's
in
true. Yeah,
a GB kit or anything like that. So at the time they didn't see me, and that's probably why
yeah,
I want to do it. But I've got to do it. You've got to earn it, haven't you? It's got
yeah. I mean,
so
it doesn't. People say, "Oh, well, it's not that competitive because not everybody goes." But you've still got to do the work. Doesn't matter what you're doing, you've still got to do the work. You've got to be consistent in reaching a certain level, whatever that level is. You've got to hit it. You know what I mean? It's like I don't get this. Oh, well, it's not that. Not all the best people are there because they can't afford it or whatever. Doesn't. All you can do is like compete against who's there in front of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I'd say to some of people who say, "Oh, they've still got that chip on the shoulder of how good they are when they were younger."
Yeah.
Well, you try running a 17-minute 5K after a 1K swim, and then they soon quiet down. It's like whatever age group you're in, if you try it and people do it in the 60s, 70s. It's amazing, isn't it? It should be applauded. And not everyone can do it, is it? Really, not everyone can do it.
No. Perfect. Right, well, I'm going to let you get gone. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And again, big thank you for coming on the pod. And it's been lovely to meet you.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks very much. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, Rich.
So big thank you to Alex for getting in touch in the first place and joining me on the podcast and for inspiring me to bring some Hyrox into my own training. He's also reminded me that it's really important to keep challenging ourselves and find new ways to build strength and resilience, especially as we're aging and we want to keep doing this age group thing. So if you've enjoyed this conversation, please share it with a friend or a training partner or a teammate who might also get something from it. It really helps the podcast grow and helps more people discover our amazing multisport community. And don't forget, if you're an age grouper and you would like to come on and share your story, you can drop us an email at agegroupmultisportpodcast@gmail.com. You can DM us on Facebook at Richard Joseph Conway. You can DM us on Instagram at amp_podcast. And we have a YouTube channel where I post training insights, race experiences, and all these podcasts also, and that's AmpGB. I'd love to hear what you think about adding Hyrox into your training, so drop us a message on socials. I've done a couple of videos since about Hyrox on there, so head over there and give us a like. So thanks again for tuning in, and as always, stay safe, keep training, and love the process.